I'm talking to Ibrahim Pam, who is the head of the Independent Integrity Unit at the Green Climate Fund. Ibrahim, you're a lawyer by training. You're a specialist in criminal law, in white-collar law, in financial crimes, but also with an interest in human rights. And I'm quite interested in exploring some of your work at the GCF, particularly in relation to green climate financing and issues of corruption and lack of integrity. In that regard, what keeps you awake at night?
Thanks, Barbara, and it's a pleasure to speak with you. In my current position is, I suppose, what keeps all of us awake at night about climate. The mission of the Green Climate Fund, as you know, is to essentially finance projects that would address climate change. What we are trying to do is ensure that we enable the entities with which the Green Climate Fund interacts to build the necessary standards for integrity by having policies and frameworks and procedures in place to ensure transparency and accountability, by ensuring access to information, whistleblower protection, ensuring that they have policies that address the risks of sexual exploitation and abuse in projects, policies that address money laundering and terrorist financing. These are all global challenges to integrity and to the use of financing, which we need to protect not only the GCF, but broadly speaking, the global community from.
So I imagine that you don't sleep very well at night then, because that's quite a lot to be concerned about. The whole climate adaptation field plays out a lot around water issues. Have you seen anything particular around the water and sanitation sector in that regard in your time there?
The biggest trends that we see and sort of the threats that are most pervasive in climate financing is around procurements. So procurement processes are prone to abuse in terms of collusion, of double dipping, of bribery, of fraud. And also because water projects tend to be somewhat technical, there are opportunities there for abuse within the procurement process as well.
And obviously there's a lot of money going into climate funding currently and in the future. So those risks are exacerbated because there's so much money coming in. What are the sort of current but also the future challenges that you see coming down the road around reducing the corruption in climate change and in climate financing in particular?
The current challenges that we face, obviously, as we've talked about, is how to ensure that the safeguards that we require are in place across all of our entities and across all projects. However, we look at the challenges, really, the current challenges, as future opportunities as well. So we have a vision to be the global leader in climate finance integrity at the Green Climate Fund. We believe that we're able to do this by strategically creating alliances that deliver on accountability in projects and achieving that systemic change that you talked about. By affecting not only the entities we engage in, but also the national spaces that we work in.
How do you see that the GCF's integrity standards and the work that you're doing, which is continually evolving, how can we translate that into a kind of gold standard for water governance and for anti-corruption and integrity work in the water and sanitation sector?
We think that with the kind of strategic alliances that we are able to create, we would be better placed to not only to curb corruption in the water sector, but to build integrity into it.
I'm glad to hear the not only curb corruption, but to build integrity, because integrity is much more than anti-corruption. I think from our experience and our viewpoint, absolutely the partnerships are critical. There's no one organization or no one element that is going to be able to drive this alone. So I'd like to thank you very much for your time and look forward to working with the Green Climate Fund in future.
Thank you, Barbara. And we have this huge goal in front of us, but working together, I believe we can achieve what we at the GCF describe as 100% climate action, 0% corruption.
It sounds good. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Barbara.